Grey herons, a common yet compelling water bird. Grey herons tend to grow to a height of about 1 metre, with an impressive wingspan reaching almost 2 metres. Grey herons weigh between 1 and 2 kilograms in adulthood. A handsome, long-legged bird with a distinctive grey plumage and white crest upon its head. They have a long, straight beak, which even brightens in colour, while breeding males will also croak loudly in the hope to invite a female to his nest. While researching and observing the grey herons, we pondered over the predator-prey relationships grey herons have with other animals in their habitat. We then came up with the research question, what makes herons such good predators? Grey herons are generalists in their habitat, but they do prefer to wade in shallow bodies of water. You'll often find grey herons on the prowl on the shores of lakes, rivers, swamps, or floodplains, especially if these bodies of water are near a tree line. Herons love to use large trees of up to 50 metres to nest, using the large branches and plentiful canopy for protection and privacy. Because of their flexibility in habitats, grey herons are found all throughout Europe, Asia and Africa, sometimes even in Australia and New Zealand. They usually disperse from their breeding grounds soon after breeding season, when the chicks are large enough to fly. Grey herons are mostly piscivorous birds, but every now and then they like to grab a small mammal or an insect for the variation in their diet. The grey heron hunts mostly at dusk and dawn, by waiting at the water's edge until the prey comes nearby. When it does, they will extend the neck and stab it with the bill. Their sixth vertebrae is elongated, and this makes their neck extend further than that of other birds. Another classic hunting strategy is slowly walking through the water, waiting for an unsuspecting prey animal to pass by. In this graph, we can see the diet of the grey heron. The diet is completely formed by animal product, with no plants, seeds or fruits. Fish is the biggest group in the grey heron's diet. The second biggest group of prey is that of invertebrates, such as shrimp, krill or mollusks. Mammals, birds and reptiles are a small part of the grey heron's diet. Grey herons usually swallow their prey whole. However, they are also capable of using more brutal predation methods. When hunting on young chicks or ducklings, the grey heron grabs their neck and then drowns them, before snapping their neck with its beak or hitting the prey against a rock before consumption. In this graph, we can clearly see the grey heron has a preference to water as a foraging ground. This can be explained quite easily by looking back at their diet, in which more than half are aquatic animals, but the heron itself stays above the surf. They do not need to go into the water because of their long beak. Dry ground can also offer as a foraging ground to the grey heron, as this is where smaller mammals and reptiles usually live. Not only is the heron a strong predator, but they are also a prey to some other animals as well. Because of their large size, you can imagine that there are not too many animals brave enough to prey on these beasts. Main examples of predators of the heron are foxes, raccoons and crows. Especially the heron eggs and young are preyed upon quite frequently. About 2/3 of yearlings die because of predation. Therefore, herons are very careful with leaving their young unattended. Crows use a distraction technique to lure the adult herons away from their nest, leaving it unattended. This way, the crow can easily snatch an egg or young. In conclusion, I think it is fair to say that grey herons are quite a majestic animal, despite their sometimes vicious hunting approach. Herons display the ability for animals to adapt to their environment and food consumption. Herons are a fitting example of a predator who displays behaviour not only to optimise its own hunting strategies, but to protect themselves and their young from the hunting strategies of their predators.